Act 2 of episode Revenant launches today, and while I will be grinding the ever-loving hell out of Tomb of Elders, ring the notification bell by the way, because a full guide on that will be coming. This is your friendly reminder that Bungie is straight up handing out god rolls today in D2 as an apology for the infamous Waitgate fiasco. To get them, just go pick them up from Banshee at the tower, GG easy. However, even though the rolls are indeed fire, some are certainly more caliente than the others. So real quick, I'm gonna go through each one and give you my thoughts and maybe a loose rating. That way you know which ones to maybe prioritize. First up, the Rose hand cannon with the following roll: fluted barrel, accurized rounds, slide shot, explosive payload, smooth grip, and a handling masterwork. Gotta say, if you enjoy playing PvP even a little bit and also enjoy using hand cannons, this is a must get from Banshee today. Keep in mind that explosive payload is taking a mild nerf today on legendary hand cannons only, which will affect this roll, but don't be confused by the verbiage here in the TWID. On paper, explosive payload should functionally be the same as it was in the final shape for legendary hand cannons, but better on all other weapons. Rose should 100% still be a 3 headshot kill on all levels of Brazil, even after this adjustment. So yeah, TLDR, even with the explosive payload nerf, Rose will remain an elite weapon in PvP. Bungie's latest tweet revealed a graph showing that Rose is still disgustingly effective in the hands of good players, and it'll likely remain that way for a while, even among options like LC's rifle and bygones. Official rating, hell yeah, go get that gun right now. Next, the Multimach SMG with polygonal rifling, tactical mag, attrition orbs, kinetic tremors, and a reload masterwork. It's kind of weird thinking about a god roll Multimach in PvE, considering it was one of the usual suspects that kicked off the launch of the great PvP SMG meta, but here we are. The play here is twofold: go into PvE and get some decent AoE crowd control via kinetic tremors, while also potentially generating orbs of power for the homies. I know a lot of folks are out here running double special loadouts these days, which, hey, I'm down with, by the way. But if you enjoy a good PvE primary, this roll on paper should actually go quite hard. Kinetic Tremors is a top tier pick, and the ability to print orbs on top of that is just icing on the cake. My only critique of this roll right now is champion related and therefore very minor, and that is that SMGs are only currently able to deal with overload champions, which are also covered by grenade launchers. And considering grenades have access to the godly concussive reload artifact mod, if I need to deal with an overload champ, I'm going with my craftable lost signal, which is almost glued to my hip these days. That being said though, definitely don't avoid grabbing this just because of overlapping champ coverage. That would be dumb. Official rating, definitely grab. This should be a damn fine primary. Next up is the Indebted Kindness, which I have a lot to say about. But before we get into that, let me give a big thank you to Raycon, sponsor of today's video. Anno and I had a long flight for our honeymoon, and let me tell you, Raycon everyday earbuds came in big time clutch during the flight. They have up to 8 hours of playtime on a single charge, so I didn't even need to think about worrying about needing to recharge these things. Just got to sit back, relax, enjoy the high quality audio for whatever I wanted to listen to. They've also got a more streamlined design now. They're comfy as hell. They even sit completely flush in your ear if you want to lay down against the pillow, so I didn't really need to worry about taking them out if I was awake and watching or taking a nap or whatever on the plane. They've sold over 3 million of these bad boys, and it's really not hard to see why. And if you're thinking to yourself, old Fallouts out here yapping, fine, go ahead and put it to the test yourself. Raycon offers a 30-day happiness guarantee for easy returns. You literally have nothing to lose. Try them out at the gym, when you're traveling, at home, whatever. I continue to have nothing but good things to say about mine, but again, put that 30-day happiness guarantee to the test yourself. Go to buyraycon.com/fallout today to get up to 30% off your order site-wide. Again, get up to 30% off your order site-wide by going to buyraycon.com/fallout. And again, thank you, Raycon. All right, we back. Next up is the Indebted Kindness with smart drift control, tactical mag, loose change, volt shot, and a velocity masterwork. All right, I have extremely mixed feelings on this roll, so listen up. As you may very well likely hear from others, this is widely considered not a 5 out of 5 god roll by a lot of people. Bungie is really pulling a Gretchen from Mean Girls by trying extremely hard to make loose change happen, but Fallout Regina George plays here stepping in to tell them that yeah, it's not gonna happen. At least not for me in this particular instance. Yeah, Volt Shot and Loose Change pair well together on paper. Apply a Jolt debuff with Volt Shot, then reap the benefits from Loose Change, which does include a faster reload speed, which is nice. The only downside is that you have to live with the knowledge that your Indebted Kindness roll does not have lead from gold on it, which IMO is definitely the way to go. More frequent ammo grabbing means you can treat Indebted Kindness more like a primary weapon. However, if you really just can't be bothered to do a bunch of Warlord's Ruin farming, I get it. For the vast majority of players, this roll will be fine. Just having any indebted kindness with Volt Shot at all, as opposed to having none, is a major PvE game changer. Take it from a guy whose indebted kindness roll is far from perfect, yet still has 13,000 kills on it. Official rating: get it if you don't have a Volt Shot kindness already and can't be bothered to farm. Next, Compass Rose with corkscrew rifling, light mag, slide shot, snapshot, and a handling masterwork. I'm gonna keep it a buck. This is a pretty solid PvP shotgun if you're a really new player, but I absolutely think veteran players can do better. The perk combo is good, but I genuinely borderline refuse to equip any shotgun in PvP these days that doesn't have a, quote, whip it out faster perk, i.e. something like threat detector, slick draw, or closing time. Yeah, snapshot helps you ADS faster, but again, I need a whip it out faster perk. They're too important to not have IMHO. If you put in just a little bit of time doing one Garden of Salvation run each week, you can literally craft a Prophet of Doom shotgun with threat detector and closing time. Not only do you get the benefits of whipping it out faster, I promise that'll be the last time I say that, by the way, but you also get the better cone benefits that you can't get from either slide shot or snapshot. Official rating: not bad for some players, get it and see if you like it, but I'll be sticking with my threat detector opening shot Compass Rose, which I already farmed for, thank you very much. Next, an Adept Hothead rocket launcher with hard launch, impact casing, tracking module, and clown cartridge with a reload masterwork. I need to be really clear here. Yes, this rocket roll does not have a damage boosting perk like some other rocket launchers out there. However, it's important to remember that just because you have a rocket launcher doesn't necessarily mean it needs to be a raid DPS monster. I mean, you definitely should have those types of rolls though, obviously. But while I think this hothead roll definitely shouldn't be considered for raid or dungeon DPS, I think it could be considered for certain activities like GM Nightfalls, especially if you're rolling deep with the classic combo of 1 Gallarhorn and 2 legendary rockets, and double especially if there's an arc singe and you don't have a decent Crux Termination 4 laying around. If that sounds like something you don't feel you need, I completely get it, move right along. But official rating from me: get it if you don't have a decent arc rocket for PvE. Last but definitely not least, the VS Chill inhibitor with countermass, spike grenades, envious arsenal, and bait and switch with a reload masterwork. I'm genuinely surprised that Bungie is giving this roll away, because even though you could argue things like other masterwork options or the fact that it has countermass rather than hard launch in column 1, the bottom line is that this is a very good PvE grenade launcher roll. Again, hair splitting aside, it has the 3 most important things: spike, envious, and bait and switch. In short, grenade launchers are very good right now. This is a really good roll on paper. It will do equally well in PvE across the board. Official rating: 100% pick this up, especially if you don't have a good damage dealing PvE grenade launcher already. And there you go. Like this video if it helped you out at all. Big thanks to those who do. Stay tuned for more Act 2 content this week, including the eventual Tomb of Elders guide. Thanks very much for watching. Peace!